Welcome to Dhirendra Digital Solutions, your learning partner.
Hello friends, today we'll look at Boolean rules. Now, when we start with Boolean rules, we'll be first talking about the AND rules. So, A dot 0, wherein A is any variable that we are going to consider, and the term that is being ANDed with is 0, so you get 0. The second one, A dot 1 will be equal to A, because if A is equal to 0 you get 0, if A is equal to 1 you get 1. So A dot 1 will be A. Then the third rule is A dot A is equal to A. So if A is equal to 0, 0 dot 0 gives you 0, 1 dot 1 gives you 1. The fourth rule is A dot A bar will be equal to 0. Now, A is 0, 0 dot anything will be 0, so you get 0. If A is 1, A bar is 0, so anything ANDed with 0 will still give you 0. So the result will be 0 in this particular case. These are the AND rules that we have. Now, similarly, we have got OR rules. So, if we look at A plus 0, A plus 0 will be equal to A, because A, if it is 0, you get 0. If A is equal to 1, 1 plus 0 will be 1. So you get A. Sixth rule, A plus 1 will be equal to 1. The reason being, if A is equal to 1, you are getting 1, 1 plus 1 is 1. Whereas if A is equal to 0, 0 plus 1 is also equal to 1. That is why you get 1. Seventh rule, A plus A will be equal to A. If A is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, 1 plus 1 is 1. Then, eighth rule, A plus A bar will be equal to 1. Now, why is this? If A is equal to 0, A bar is 1, so one of the input is 1, so the result is 1. If A is equal to 1, then obviously get the result as 1. So A plus A bar will be equal to 1. Now, the next rule, ninth rule, wherein we are going to talk about the commutative property, that is A plus B will be equal to B plus A. This is the commutative property that we have. Similarly, we have the 10th rule, which will be the commutative property in terms of AND operation. A dot B will be equal to B dot A. Rule number 11, which is going to be associative property. When we say associative property, A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. This is associative property, and it is applicable in terms of OR gate. Similarly, the next rule is associative property for the AND operation, which is A dot B dot C will be equal to A dot B C. Either you can say BC or B dot C. Here, if you want, you can keep a dot, otherwise, you can leave it. Both are acceptable. So, this is your associative property. Then, the 13th rule, the distributive property. A dot B plus C is equal to AB plus AC, or A dot B plus A dot C. Both are acceptable. So, this is your distributive property. Similarly, we have one more distributive property, which is A plus BC is equal to A plus B into A plus C. Now, This property you have seen it in multiple cases, so it would be very easy for you to understand. But then here you would have a question as to how does this happen. So just for your understanding, what we'll do is we'll multiply these two terms, a dot a plus a dot c plus this a into b gives me a dot b plus b dot c. So this is b dot c. In this, what I'll do is a dot a is a, we already know it over here, plus this is ac plus ab plus bc. Now what we'll do is we'll take a common between all these terms. So this becomes a dot 1. Here I'm going to get 1 plus c is left out plus b is left out plus bc. Now from this property we know that anything odd with 1 is 1. So anything odd with 1 is 1. So this becomes a dot 1 plus bc, which is equal to, by the property a dot 1 equal to a, so we get a plus bc. So this is your property. So we have seen the explanation for this. Now along with this we have got the 15th property, which is your De Morgan's law. What does De Morgan's law say? This AB whole bar will be equal to A bar plus B bar. And similarly, 16th is also your De Morgan's law, wherein you're going to have A plus B whole bar is equal to A bar dot B bar. So we have got all of these. Now there is one more very important rule that we need to look at. Now this is called as the Shannon's theorem, wherein, say for example, I have a term a b plus a bar c plus bc plus bc. Now this entire thing will be equal to ab plus a bar c. Now you would say you have this term which is the part of the result, but then the third term is being eliminated. This is what is called as the Shannon's theorem. The Shannon's theorem states if there is one term, one variable or one term over here in both normal as well as the complementary form. There is a term in both normal and the complementary form, and a third term exists, which is the AND of the remaining terms. The remaining term is B over here, the remaining term is C over here, and it is a AND of the remaining terms. Then the third term can be eliminated. This is what the Shannon's theorem states. So we make use of the Shannon's theorem over here. So we eliminate the third term. So this is what is your Shannon's theorem. You can use the truth table method or go ahead with simplifying each one of these terms to the canonical form, which we'll be dealing with later on. So canonical form, and then if we compare it, the result is the same. So this is what is your Shannon's theorem. Then we look at the next one, which is the 18th rule. Again, Shannon's theorem in terms of the OR operations, a plus b dot a bar plus c dot b plus c. If this is the term, then the resultant term will be a plus b into a bar plus c. This is the Shannon's theorem for the POS form of the equation. Then we have seen the associative property, we have seen the distributive property over here, and we have seen the Shannon's theorem. Now, let us look at the last two, which are the most important ones. Now, A plus A bar B is equal to A plus B. Now, what do we mean by this? You can just look at your distributive property. You can look at your distributive property. Here, what is that we have said? A plus BC is equal to A plus B into A plus C. Similarly, if I look at this particular equation, I can rewrite it as A plus B, A bar into A plus B. A plus A bar is 1, so we end up with the result as A plus B. This is what is your one of the important rules that we make use of. Is that clear? So these are the 19 rules of the Boolean algebra which we need to follow. Now you would have a question as to, sir, you have written only the SOP form of it. Isn't the POS form also applicable? The POS form is also applicable, which is direct multiplication of the terms. So that is the reason I have not written that particular equation. Thank you. Please do comment, like, share and subscribe. For more related videos, log on to www.dhirendra digital solutions.in. The link is available below.